It stands surrounded by green thick branches and far away from cities, the suburbs, is blessed with hikers and there is profound silence. I remember such lines by Ivan Nikitin when I think about this monastery. Today I would like to look back at the history of this monastery. There is a church founded in 1696 by merchant Neronov on the outskirts of Kashira. The church was wooden and dedicated to Great Mother Nikita. There was a lodge near the church where poor old women lived. In 1805, the small parish was abolished and the church was transformed into the cemetery church. In 1806, local merchant Yeremei Pankratyevich Rudnev, who wasn't very rich, reconditioned the ramshackle church. In 1815, his son Fyodor Yeremeyevich Rudnev, who was the owner of the brickworks, became the church warden of the Nikitski church. Soon Fyodor Yeremeyevich came up with the idea to build a new stone church dedicated to Great Mother Nikita. He began building of the church trusting in God. In 1823, the Emperor Alexander I, who went through Kashira, subscribed 25 banknote rubles for the building of the church. In December 1845, the church was finished by the Vespertine service in church. A monk from Tula arrived to Fyodor Yeremeyevich with a letter from the bishop, in which he had asked him to take monk Fomaida into the church. In 1846, she founded an almshouse near the church. All women and widows living there announced that they wanted to be under her control. A lot of members of Zare's family donated money to the almshouse. Empress Maria Alexandrovna, Great Duchess Yelena Pavlovna, Grand Duchess Alexandra Iosifovna, Grand Duke Konstantin Nikolaevich, and others. During the period 1848-1856, in total 16,500 rubles and up to 10 desetinas of forest and arable land were donated to the almshouse. Mother Fomaida had to leave the almshouse very often because she settled all different problems connected with the church. His Holiness Alexei asked to help her monk Olympiada, Daria Nikolaevna Makarova. During Olympiada's 2-year stay in Kashira, she managed to build an ant cell and a wooden fence around the almshouse. On the 13th of March, the Holy Governing Synod claimed that the foundation by Nikitski church in Kashira should be transformed into the Kashira-Nikitski community. Monk Makaria from Belevsky Holy Cross Monastery was appointed as the first abbess of the community. Mother Fomaida had been living in a private devotion for another 6 years, and she died at the age of 19 years old on the 17th of December 1868. Mother Makaria had mild nature. She was meek. Her first care was spiritual conditions of the cloister. She supported peace and kindliness among sisters. She paid much attention to inner life of the community. Mother Makaria and Treasure Mitrofania began the external provision of the necessary facilities of the cloister. The floors were repaired, new window frames were inserted, the walls were plastered outside. Ornament was renewed and refreshed inside in Nikitski cloister. A stone fence was built with towers in the corners of the fence and with statues of angels on the tower roofs. The holy gates were also built. There were 7 stone buildings and 4 wooden buildings in the territory of the community. There was a communion bread, a bread building, a needlework building and a candle works there. Sisters embroidered in satin stitch and confection lace in the needlework building. Moscow merchant made many orders for their production. Sisters worked at the candle works by themselves and it made a profit. There was a fruit trees orchards near the cloister. They also made on selling grafting high-quality trees. During the Turkish War 1877, 25 linen shirts, 19 warm plastrons and several pairs of stockings were made for the army in the monastery according to the Tula consistory decree, and 100 rubles were sent. Some Sisters of Mercy were sent from the monastery to the front to look after wounded men. On the 18th of April 1884, the cloister in Kashira got the status of the female Cenobitic monastery according to the decree of the Holy Synod. The Nikitski female Cenobitic monastery in the town of Kashira was unveiled on the 8th of July. Mother Makaria died. Monk Tikhona Ekaterina Ladizhinskaya from Belevsky Holy Cross Monastery was appointed as the abbess of the monastery by Mother Makaria's request on the 18th of March 1888. The building of the Transfiguration Church was finished in 1994. There was a parish school, an icon painting workshop, a hospital, an almshouse, a hotel, and a shelter for orphan girls by the monastery. Orphan girls were taught literacy, needlework, and lace knitting there. The veil, which had been embroidered by a monk from the monastery, was exhibited in the World Exhibition in Paris in 1900. After the exhibition, the veil was in the monastery church. The needlework items made by monks from the monastery won a medal at the local exhibition. In 1919, the female Cenobitic monastery in the town of Kashira was transformed into a labor hotel. In 1921, the monastery fell into despair and was closed. In 2009, its restoration began. My monastery, where I'm badly pining, is granite melted by the burning mind. I am strangled and blinded under this heat line, and leave it trying and yourself to find. There will be still heat, but one that's always warming. The bloody ball will melt my brain to ash. I lose my mind in this them coming, then in this one a pressing blood and flesh. Where the new cell, where's my cloister, novel, not on the skies, the craves darkness behind, but on the earth is healthy one and low, where I'll find all when having lost my mind.